So over the years, you've heard me talk about different ways that I've acquired cards, whether it be eBay, whether it be a personal collection, whether it be a thrift store, whether it be a yard sale, retail boxes in store, hobby boxes, breaks, various various different ways you get cards. One of the ways that I hadn't done in a few years was to go onto goodwill.com or .org or whatever it is and bid on some of their online auctions that they have. And I thought it'd be a good idea for me to go back and try this and kind of add it to another way of acquiring cards to show you guys on the channel, because I've never really done that. I've never really shown you what I do with the online auctions, or what I do with the auctions of Goodwill, and what I do with the product when I sort through it. You guys see me sort through cards, you see me list stuff for eBay, things like that. But this is something that's a little different, because it's a hit or miss. I can be honest with you, which most stuff is with cards. It's a hit or miss business, if you want to think of it like that, or passion, hit or miss passion. I would say I probably have more of a passion of it, because I rarely sell stuff, even though I keep saying I'm going to. But I decided to go on there and bid on a few of the auctions, and I actually won 3 of them. 2 of them were in Columbus, which I probably was just as better off to drive and go get it than to come back here. But we've had a snowstorm. Everybody's been snowed in. It's been a rough time. I'll just let them mail it to me. I'll go over the prices and everything. We'll take a look at it together. I don't have the cards in yet. I'm just going to give you a little rundown of what I got now, and then we'll go back and recap it when we get the cards and figure out, and we'll do one of those, how did we do type videos after the fact. But I wanted to give you guys a heads up what was coming up. So I'm going to show you those auctions. I'm going to tell you what my thought process was when I was looking at the pictures, because they don't give you much. You don't get a lot of information. So I'm going to give you what my thought process was as we go through these things, and let me know what you guys think. If you think I made a good buy, if you think it was probably a bad buy, and obviously we'll have no idea until they get here. But let me know what you think, and without further ado, here we go. This was the first lot we got. As you can see, it's just a box of cards in there. My guess is it's probably a bunch of junk wax common cards, which is mostly what you get actually when you buy stuff from Goodwill. It's what people know they can't sell and they just donate to get rid of. But sometimes, especially in these stores, they don't necessarily go through every card. They may miss an error card, they may miss a numbered card, they may miss something. A lot of times not the case. A lot of times the person that donated it had already gone through it and pulled out anything that was good. But I took a shot at $25.35, tax tag, title, everything else included, to get it sent to me. Figure we'll go through it, we'll look at it. The way they had it listed, that they'll pull out a couple cards and say, oh, these are the cards we're featuring, or these are good cards that were in here. And as you can see, those good cards are we got Rick Finney, however you say his name, with a rough top on there as one of your premier cards, and they actually had that in the title. And then we had Gary Brown, Firepower. As you can see, great card, but Gary Brown, not necessarily a huge name. Juan Guzman, 92 Fleer, which I've got a couple of those sitting over here. When I was digging through cards last night, I ran across a couple of them. But you can see there, Mike Diaz, for example, you can see they're not they're not sought after cards. Then we kind of wrap it up with old Ron Harkavise, who everyone knows I'm a big fan of. So we just kind of sold me on the deal. But I figure we're going to give it a try on that, and we're going to see what comes out of there. There may be a winner, there may not be, but we only really risked $25.35 on that lot. So that first one really wasn't a risk. It's $25.35. If I lose 20 bucks on it, I lose 20 bucks on it. It just is what it is. I go in my comments box, call it a day. No harm, no foul. These other 2 are a little bit risky. We've got one. That one was the small one, was the first one. We'll call this next one here the medium one. We paid $234.27 for this, and I definitely got caught up in the old, I'm not going to lose this. I'm going to make sure I got the highest bid, which my bid was actually higher on it. But luckily, it didn't get all the way up to there. So I'll tell you what I was thinking on this one. You've got the whole picture of the collection. I don't know if you can see it very well over here, but you got the whole picture of the collection. I think I'll put it over in this area. In the top left of the photograph, top left, me looking at it, you've got some packs up there in the top. Those packs look like they're 88 Donruss, 89 Donruss, 91 Donruss, maybe a 91 90 I think is up there as well. So that interests me because I like having packs. It gives me something to open up for you guys. It looks like there'll be a couple rack packs. Although they could already be opened. You never know. I've had that before when I bought packs. They were already open. The cards were just put back in there, minus the good ones, to be honest with you. So it could be that situation. You never know. From the cards, looking at this, we'll go in. We'll look at the individual boxes. So this is the main box. It's got the packs in it right here. And you can see it looks like it's got some 91 tops to the left down there. Definitely see some 91 Donruss, some 92 Donruss, some 90 Donruss. There's probably some 89 Donruss over here on this side, and then that looks like 90s tops, maybe 90 or 91 tops over to the far right. That's what my thinking was on those. I don't know if someone was building sets on them because they do look kind of correlated on there. But I mean, that looks like all junk wax to me. Nothing too spectacular in that first one. The next one is a little more intriguing because that whole left side looks like it's either in top loaders or in sleeves. It's not a clear enough picture for me to tell, but I see the top loaders over on the other side of the box. So I'm thinking some of it's in top loaders. My hope is that the far left side of the box is all top loaded stuff and the other two middle sections are just sleeved up, which usually means that they're better cards. And that's what I was counting on this, was that they were going to be some better cards over in the sleeved up part. Then this last one, they look like the bottom parts of them are all sleeved up, and it looks like there's in the top part of the left end, it looks like there's some sleeved up cards. So my hope is that there are some better cards in there that someone took the time to sleeve up. It's not always the case. I know I even have stuff that's sleeved up that's probably not worth anything. But generally when people sleeve stuff up or top load stuff, it's a better card. Again, not always the case, and this is one of those hit or miss. It could be a bunch of nickel cards that were all sleeved up in there from like 90s tops. It could be a Kurt Schilling, and it's like, ooh, that's 10 cents. But let's sleeve it up, which I probably would do. I'd probably sleeve it up too, so nothing happened to it. But that's my thinking on this one. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but give me your thoughts. You can see there's a couple other, looks like 91 score, 92 score, I think, up there in the very top part of it, but I don't know. Like I said, that was $235 almost. So this next group, looking at this picture, I think is going to be a continuation of some of the product that we saw in the last one and the medium one. This is going to be the large. We paid $261.38 for this large group, we'll call it. But I think it's going to be a continuation of the last one because it's got box 15, 16 written on it. Those other boxes had box 1, 2, 4 written on them. I think they probably had at least 16, if not more, boxes of that and just split it up in groups of 4. So we were only able to get 2 of the groups. So we got box 15, 16, and whatever you want to number those. I got 32 written on them, but so I think it's continuation of this stuff. You're going to see when we get into the product, it's kind of similar once we start looking at the pictures. This first picture is going to be that 5,000 count box that was at the bottom. And it looks to me like it's either going to be some 89 Donruss or it's going to be most likely some 91 score would be my guess, which neither one of them are. I mean, the 89 Donruss would be great, especially if there was a Griffey in there, but I don't think that's what it is. I think it's going to end up being 91 score, and there's nothing too really exciting in there. So that's just kind of it's part of it. Then you get to this next box, which is box 16 written on there. Slot number 1 over there looks like that it has some top loaded stuff in the front left and maybe some sleeved up stuff all the way back. And it looks like it may have a pack kind of, slid down the side over there. But that all looks like some sleeved up, top loaded, decent looking stuff. The middle probably just looks like some junk wax to me. And then same with the right. It looks like football. This all kind of looks like football to me. I can see a football card there in the front of section 1. And that back card in section 3 back there looks like a football card as well. So I'm thinking that's probably all football there. And I may be wrong on what is in that first picture, but that's my guess on it. Then we get down to here, and that is obviously the 2012 Topps factory set. It's not sealed or anything, so chances are if there's anything good, like Andrew Luck would have probably been a rookie in that, and maybe Russell Wilson. I don't remember when his rookie year was, but somewhere around there. And chances are it might have gotten just pulled out of there. There are people that crack the sets and pull the good stuff out, especially if they're grading it or something like that. But it looks like in the front part of this box that it is top loaded and then sleeved up right behind it before you get to the set. And then down the right side, all that looks at least sleeved up to me. So I'm hoping, wishful thinking, that may be, some decent stuff. So then we get to this last little box down here, which looks to me like some Donruss puzzle pieces. I think that's all going to be Donruss puzzle pieces. I don't think there's any cards mixed in there. So I'm just probably going to give that to some kids or something. But so that's kind of what goes through my head and my thought process when I'm looking at these Goodwill online auction stuff, especially ones kind of like those last two that they didn't show us anything other than the entire product. They didn't show us the individual cards inside or give us more insight of what was in there. It's kind of like when you buy a storage auction, take what's all in there or take none of it. You move on. You just you can look around, you get an idea of it. And that's what you can do. You look around, you can see basically the volume of the cards and kind of guesstimate what you think is in there. But when you see the sleeved up stuff, the top loaded stuff in there, you want to think there's better stuff in there, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out if I'm completely wrong on that. Do I think I will get back my over $500 that I spent on these cards? Probably not. Do I think we'll have a great time doing it? Will I be taking you guys along for the ride for the whole process? Yeah. And I think we'll have fun doing it. And that's part of the thing. And it's what it's all about. And we may have a moment where we pull out a $500 Tom Brady rookie card, and then all of a sudden you get your money back. I don't think that's the case. Looking at the years of stuff that I could see and that I could determine just from coloration, I don't think that we're pulling anything out like that. But you never know. This is why we do it. This is why we do it. So I thank you guys for watching. I'll be making plenty of videos with this stuff when it starts getting here. I'm probably going to wait till it all gets here, and I won't go through it without you guys. So hope to see you guys there. If you want, you can watch another video in the meantime of mine over here, and you can subscribe. Whoa, you can subscribe over here if you just want to like on the video as well. If you got the time, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And I think they're all from the same group. I just don't. What is going on with my nose? Ugh.